this week's episode.
Yeah.
Coming into the office, the new commute to the office.
The new commute to the office. We've heard of fully remote. We've heard of everyone bringing their employees back into the office Monday through Friday. And then, of course, there's the hybrid.
Right. And what does a new commute to the office look like?
You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this data.
No, this is crazy.
This is crazy. There's data out there and CEOs out there that suggest commuting to the office should be an added pay.
Do you think the CEOs are suggesting that or the employees?
No, it's legit. CEOs were like, I can't believe I used to make my employees commute to the office. Now they have like stats on, takes what, 2 hours plus or minus to commute into the office, plus getting up early, plus all this stuff.
I don't know how I feel about this.
I know. I loved your initial reaction.
First of all, I'm surprised it's not the employees that are demanding it. Well, maybe that's where it like stemmed from,
Probably
like complaining about coming in because they're spending more, blah, blah, blah. But like, this is like life. Like you commute to work, you drive into work. Maybe I sound like a really old person right now, but it's crazy to me. And plus, in the past couple of years, like salaries have gone up significantly, which you can put towards your commute or your gas.
Yeah, that's true.
So now you need additional like commute money on top of your additional salary.
Yeah. No, that's very true because after 2020, right, everyone did get a pay bump increase. Everyone was kind of resigning and moving and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they've gotten a huge pay increase.
And they were working remote.
Yeah.
So now that people are making them come back on site, now they want an additional increase to make up for that.
Mm-hmm. Spoken like a true business owner. She's like, wait, I have this hat on right now.
No, it's just crazy to me that people are expecting that.
So listen to this. What I thought was even more crazier after hearing like CEOs talk about this, the federal law allows employers to let their workers deduct $300 per month from their paycheck on a pre-tax basis for commuting costs.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this is legit, but I would want to know what that looks for, what kind of an impact that has on the employers, right? Because if you are allowing the companies to let their employees deduct that, what implications does it have in the future?
Yeah, I don't know. That's just, I mean, the whole thing is strange to me.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. We might be like, I definitely don't think we're late to the party talking about this because this is the first, when I was doing this research, the first I've heard about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and exactly to your point, I'm sure it stemmed from employees,
right?
But this is like a big thing now.
So what are the main reasons that people don't want to commute back into the office? Obviously time, right?
Mm-hmm. Well,
what else?
So the biggest annoyances related to working to the office. This is great. This is like they rolled this out like statistically. So obviously the commute,
being number one,
most important was the actual physical commute,
which so both of us travel like with traffic, maybe 35, 40 minutes to work. If there's bad traffic, bad
traffic, I feel like it's like 45 to 50 minutes.
Yeah. Without traffic, maybe 25.
Yeah.
And I don't mind. I don't like sitting in traffic. I don't like sitting still because I feel like I'm wasting time, but I don't mind the commute to work because that's kind of like my time to like for myself to listen to podcasts or music or just nothing and just kind of reflect on the way in, kind of like get prepared for the day.
Drink my coffee.
Yeah.
Jam out. Sometimes I like to car dance.
Oh, absolutely. Or I make calls on the way in, just like kind of preparing, getting my day set up.
Right.
So I don't mind that commute. On the way home, obviously, if I'm in a hurry, that's a little different, or if there's traffic and it takes me an hour to get home, then I'm just kind of annoyed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But still, it's like my time to unwind.
Right. It's your time. It's like, well, and then when you have kids, it's like kind of nice because you have a moment to yourself as you kind of, check out of like work mode and go back into like parent mode.
Right.
It is kind of nice. Okay, so it's the commute to work that's like the biggest annoyance. Then the second one is getting home later, which I think getting home later is more of annoyance than driving into the office. I don't know why that is. Probably because you're just like ready to be on your couch more so than not. I don't know. And I'm not really on my couch when I get home though.
No,
Ever. Like, why do I even have a couch?
No. And I feel like with today's flexible work environment, you could leave a little bit earlier, miss the traffic, get home, and then even log in for a little bit, like maybe 30, 45 minutes more and answer a couple emails, kind of wrap up the day at home. But that way you're missing the traffic.
Yeah. And some of our employees do that now.
Yeah.
They love that.
So I'm just,
okay,
playing the devil's advocate.
I love it. No, I love it. The third annoyance, the third highest annoyance is waking up earlier, which I totally get because I would wake up at 5 to start my day if I have to be in the office by 8.
Right. And if you're working from home, then you have like an extra hour to sleep.
Right. I
Yeah.
could sleep longer, do a later workout, or I could, depending on my work schedule, I could still wake up at 8 and do some things in the morning, but
Yeah. Okay.
that might be good. Okay. So the fourth highest is having to spend more money on lunch. I didn't read the more part.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm like, you got to eat
You have to
regardless.
eat regardless. But yeah, I see that point. Like, it's more expensive eating out for lunch.
But bring your lunch to work.
This is true. You could. But how annoying is it when everybody else in the office is going out to lunch and you're like, you have your packed food and you're like,
I mean, it's
great.
boring. I never do that, but you could if you're going to complain about it.
You could. All right. The next one is having to spend more money on work attire.
Or if you work in a corporate environment, yes, I agree. And it's annoying to put your heels on and get all dressed up, but it also, that's like, I feel like helps you be productive. Like you got to look the part, feel good, and then you're going to do good at your job.
I agree. But when it's too corporate and you're wearing clothes that you wouldn't necessarily buy or like aren't in love with, or they don't like inspire you, they're just kind of like very much work clothes. That sucks. I feel
yes, I do feel like in today's world, like in our office, for example, which we are not corporate.
I literally have a crop t-shirt on. Not that it's showing anything, but
yeah. But I feel like people have more autonomy to like dress how they want, even if it is a corporate environment. Being a little bit more like you can wear a cute dress with tennis shoes or stuff like that, even more corporate.
Yeah.
So and it's more flexible now.
I feel like it's a little more flexible, but that is a good point though.
No.
This next one, again, we're talking about the biggest annoyances related to working in the office, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th one on the list at 30% is not being home with your kids.
Who wants to be home with their kids all day?
I know, but
not me.
Even if you're like, yeah, why would you want to be home with your kids if you're working?
I would say maybe if you have like a baby and you're not used to leaving them yet.
That's like a whole nother subject, but I feel like you can't do both jobs at the same time.
No.
Theoretically, you think you can.
True.
But you can't be effective at both.
Right.
And you're going to burn the candle at both ends, so to speak.
Yeah. Plus, I think for like kids, a majority of their life, they're in school. What are you doing during the school day? Like,
yeah.
I mean, so that to me, blah.
That's I know. I don't feel like that's it.
No,
not being home with their pets.
Well, yes, 100%.
We get that. We have pets in the office all the time.
Yeah. I actually bring my dog to work every day. So.
Every day. Yeah.
So yeah, I would be sad.
I get that. The next one is having to spend more gas money. Ugh. Yeah. I mean, with a Wrangler that eats up gas, I can attest that. Although then you could make the argument on electric.
Right. Yeah. Or like, I don't know, to go out to dinner, you're still spending money, I guess. I don't know.
That's
Maybe
true.
that's not.
Oh, no, that's true though, because what you go out on the weekends and you're driving places to go out
You
and
have no problem with
you're
that.
not, I almost, you don't complain
Right.
about spending money on gas to go to that concert.
Right.
Right.
Maybe to go to that concert, maybe the performers should start reimbursing everyone for their commute to the concert.
Oh, deduct from the concert ticket.
Right. And you got to spend money on food and drinks at the concert, so deduct that as well too.
Geez, way to spin it. Love it. Okay, what's next on the list? Working on a fixed schedule.
I feel like so many companies are flexible nowadays.
Yeah.
If you can work remote, chances are you have more of a flexible work environment. So like if like that's not, none of these are really like good reasons to me. They're excuses.
Yeah.
Right.
They're excuses. What's the next one on the list?
Public transportation.
Having to spend more money on public transportation. Yeah, I guess. Well, see,
We don't
here in
have
Tampa, we don't have fantastic public transportation yet. We are going to get the that train situation from Tampa, Orlando. That's going.
We
from
will
Miami.
See.
So I'm hopeful for that. But
in the next 20 years.
And everyone in, like, say, Chicago, I mean, they take the train all day long. Actually, technically,
That's cheaper than driving and gas.
that would be actually cool. I could dig the train because then you're doing something on your way in.
You can work on the way in.
Yeah. I like that. Okay, let's see. There's still more annoyances related to coming into the office. The next one is less leisure time after work. I don't know. I kind of like the drive home, to be honest.
Yeah, this kind of goes along with like, I don't know, the rest of them.
And to me, by the way, once I'm like working and I'm in the mode, I can't stop. Like, it's like I'm like firing off like ideas and stuff in my head a lot of the times when I'm not burnt out, I guess.
Yeah. And the next one I like, attending meetings in person. Like then you're probably.
What? I don't understand that one.
Like you don't want to attend meetings in person. You'd rather do it via Zoom or on the phone.
Oh, that's annoyances related to working in the office. They don't want to attend meetings in person.
I think it's important.
I think it is too, because you
get more out of face-to-face interactions.
Hands down.
Yeah. I mean, not everyone, but majority. Yeah. More oversight from superiors.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that does suck if you're like.
You can get away with a lot more if you're at home.
You could. Yeah, that makes sense. But now with today's technology, though, like everyone knows where your laptop is when you're working.
Yeah. If you're online.
If you're not, what you're doing, they can see like everything that you do through all your technology anyway. So superiors can, and that goes back to like old school way of judging productivity was sitting at the desk,
right?
Like how long you're at your desk, but that's not accurate.
I guarantee you, if your superiors are watching over you while you're in the office, they are watching over you even more if you're working remote.
For sure. Oh my gosh, I can't even touch this one. I'm not saying that one out loud because that'll drive me crazy. The next one, having to wear professional attire.
Yeah, we kind of already talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that already.
Having to actually get dressed.
Uncomfortable sitting at a desk all day, as opposed to their couch or outside. I am very uncomfortable working on my couch.
Yeah, me too. I feel like you're not going to be very productive if you're just sitting on your couch.
I completely disagree with that one, right?
Yeah.
Because that night I'm like watching my shows and like, like making edits to the podcast. And I'm like, this is not comfortable. I can't really focus, although I was watching my show, but.
Right. You can't.
It's not comfortable sitting there.
And you're not productive.
Right. And then the last one is having to live close to the office. Okay, that one makes sense because if they want you going into the office, then you kind of have to live close.
Yeah, unless you want that commute or all the other stuff that people are complaining about. I mean, you kind of give and take stuff.
Yeah. One of the Go ahead.
I was just thinking it's interesting that that one's last whenever the commute and like the commute's first, but
Right.
then the living close is last.
Right.
They kind of go hand in
I
hand.
think they do too. Yeah. Um, one of the comments that one of the CEOs made in this article is that they're shocked that, hey, we make people live in the city, like, because most organizations, right, their office is in the city, and they're having them commute into the city, and then they're not paying them enough to like live in the city. They just didn't understand that. So I mean, for employees, these CEOs were, I mean, very kind to their needs, I thought,
Mm-hmm.
but it might be breaking into something that we all don't want to
Right.
get into.
Yeah, I guess earlier this year they found that the average commute took 55 minutes a day commuting in, which that is a lot of time a day, like 2 hours each day that people are spending in the car, which is why public transportation is definitely helpful for that. So people can work on the way. And yeah, maybe you would get 2 hours back to your workday.
Yeah. I have found like whenever you're commuting every single day, it does take up a lot of time. But again, I feel personally way more productive in the office.
Mm-hmm.
I love seeing people work. I love collaborating with everyone.
Yeah. Which is why I feel a flexible work environment like hybrid is good. And I definitely don't think that CEOs should have to reimburse their employees for commute.
Yeah. Yeah, that could break into so much other things, right?
Yeah.
Then if that's the case, then maybe we should be paying employees hourly for when they work, right? Like that kind of goes into, well, then how much are you actually working then? Maybe we should just pay you hourly. If you're going to commute in, that's an hour. Okay, we'll pay you this. And then how much are you actually working throughout the day? I mean, it could negatively impact employees if they continue to harp on these little things.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like if you're going to pay them for commute, what else are they going to be expecting after that?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're complaining about lunch. You're going to pay for my lunch now every day, or pay for my childcare since now my child is at home. Like,
yeah,
it's almost like they'll be expecting more.
Right. Yeah. There has been very, very few, but like one company in particular that I used to work for, they did subsidize lunch programs, which was fantastic. So I remember when I worked there, lunch was like $2.50, which was back in 2006. So I mean, maybe that's $5.
Long time.
I know. Oh, I just dated myself. And it was great because like you'd come in the morning and you could see like what the lunch opportunities were, and then they would be delivered to the office, which was smart on the employer side because you kept your employees at the office, so they would just go down, grab their lunch, eat, and then go back to their desk. That was kind of really smart on their part. They still do that today.
Really interesting.
So it's a benefit for the employees and it's a benefit for the employer. So I thought that was pretty.
I bet it's not $2.50
It's
anymore.
not $2.50 anymore.
It's like $15. But yeah, no, that was very interesting. I'm glad that we talked about that. I want to know, like, does anyone listening, do your employers actually do that? Do they pay their employees for the commute, or what are some other things that your employees like pay to like keep their employees and do to help out?
Yeah, it's a great way to make a good culture, right? And like keep your employees longer. It's a great idea.
Right.
But though I didn't mention, but those annoyances related to working in the office, that was surveyed 1,000 Americans like currently working from home to find out like what their likability was to come back to the office.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was fun.
The new commute to the office.
Let us know your feedback at liveboldandbossup@gmail.com.
And until next time, live bold and boss up.